Here then is just an example of bringing it all together and a finished single exposure of the Orion Nebula then. This was taken at ISO 3200 and I believe the exposure time was 15 seconds. So what this is this is the JPEG version of that single exposure. So with most smartphones, what you can do is go up to the settings cog and go into the format options and select the option for it to also save a RAW version of each picture that you take. So you can see it looks pretty good, but quite smoothed out and processed, because any JPEG is automatically processed in some shape or form by your phone's built-in software. So if I just move across to the side, here's the exact same photograph, only this is the RAW version of that photo. You can see a lot more detail on it, a lot more noise too. Obviously, the more ISO you use, the more noise that introduces. But whenever you get around to stacking, that is the stacking process will eliminate all that noise for you as well. But you can see then the true field of view as well. You can see a lot more of the circle compared to this one here, where it's cut out a lot of it with the kind of cropped of the camera. Whereas here, you can see a lot more of that circle. So it's still cut off a bit at the sides of the circle, but I'm not too bothered by it. It doesn't matter what way I move that phone to the eyepiece, further or closer away, it'll be this field of view, and that's because of the ultra wide with that eyepiece. But I can still see everything that I want to within it, so I can go ahead and take multiple photographs at different ISO and exposure times. Lesser ISO or lesser exposure time then will help get me that core so it's not too blown out, and then the higher ISO and exposure times will help me get the cloud detail as well. Just go ahead and take as many as you want really, or as many as you can, and then you can use stacking software just to select all those different files and go ahead and you can play around with the different settings, and hopefully you get the desired result then that you're looking for. Last thing just to touch on then is the focus. So the focus is a two-step thing. So whenever you have everything lined up like I showcased earlier then and you're ready to go, you can see this is quite well in focus. And how I've done that is, as I say, the two steps. First of all, once you have the phone all in, use your focuser knob within your telescope, move it in or out, and try and get that perfect focus. You can zoom in quite a bit more into, say, a particular star, and just try and get it as small and as circular and sharp as you can. And that's the first part of it. And then the second part is the settings within your phone for focus. Normally I just have mine autofocus, but depending on the different eyepiece and what you're looking at sometimes, and the distance between the eyepiece and the phone, sometimes you need to use the manual focus instead, and rather you set it closer to the macro mode or the infinity mode. And I think that's everything then covered. So thanks very much for your time and for listening.